You don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. You see, I believe that most people don't fail due to a lack of effort in trying their endeavor. I think that a lot of the things that's holding us back is this one thing, and that's our identity. And when I understood this and I've applied this into my life has just changed significantly. And I'm so excited to be sharing how to do that very thing in this video as well. You see, I've tried the affirmations, I've tried the meditations, I've done the SMART goals, weird goals, short goals, long goals, I've done the hustling, the grinding. I've tried all kinds of things. And what's happened over the years is that I've had little to any success from that. And in fact, I had just enough success to convince me that those things work for me to then just double, triple, quadruple down to produce some results. The thing is, I did produce some results, but it cost me. It cost me dearly. It cost me so much stress, so much anxiety. It's cost me so much time of doing things over and over again instead of seeing clearly. It's cost me, I think I shaved off quite a bit of years of my life just simply trying to work harder and double down more and more on that very thing. You see, this new approach that I've tapped into has actually allowed me to flow effortlessly and to flow in such a way that's just become an expression of who I am. And that is how I shifted my identity. Okay, so what happened is that for years, I've been dabbling in starting my own company. For years, I've been dabbling into particularly making my own YouTube videos and becoming a YouTube blogger specialized in personal development and reality creation. And what's happened is that one time I've even mustered enough of the courage and the confidence and motivation and all the structures in place to get to a point where I can actually, I was making videos, but what was happening is that it would take me like weeks to months to even produce one video. And then the entire time I was just riddled with fear and insignificance and feelings of just complete doubt. And what I found myself doing was making content that was very content heavy so that I would appear like I knew what I was talking about to cover the fact that I felt completely worthless and terrified inside. And it was just this loop that was just collapsing in on itself. So I thought I had to work harder. I had to believe in it harder. I had to go more. And this just completely led to utter burnout and failures all across the board. And what's happened is now I was able to shift my identity to someone that actually just does this. And creating these videos has just become just an expression of who I am. And so if you can find value in this video, of what I'm about to share, it's going to mean the absolute world to me because I know you can do that because I did that very thing. So let's dive into what is that actually thing. So there's some fundamental principles when it comes to reality creation. It comes down to three things. And that's number one, your relationship to energy and emotion. You see, your emotion is just energy in motion. So that's what your emotions are. And so if you are focused around lack and fear and anger, then what's going to happen is that you're signaling to the universe, you're signaling to the universal law, the language, which is like the universal law. Think about it this way. If in our world right now, English tends to be like the universal language. I know there's other languages that are also very popular, but English tends to be the most popular. And it's kind of becoming like this universal language for us to kind of speak and connect with each other. But deeper than that, what's actually more universal that I find is actually energy and our emotions. And if you think about the universe and the infinite amount of things that's in it, how can you speak all the different languages and actually communicate them? I think the universal language is energy. Like I believe in aliens, and so I don't know what aliens like. Yes, Chewbacca's. Yes, there's probably a planet of Chewbacca's out there somewhere, and so instead of the universe speaking in Chewbacca in English and all that, it's speaking to us in terms of energy and vibratory frequencies. And so by me consciously saying, I'm a millionaire, or I can accomplish this, or I can do this, I can do that, while subsequently feeling lack, feeling fear, feeling doubt. What I'm doing, I'm signaling to the universe that I want more fearful situations. I want more lack situations. I want more situations of doubt. And you're actually attracting that very thing that you're attempting to push away from yourself. So paying attention to your energy and your emotions is the first step. Number 2 is your focus and intention. So if your focus is oriented around problems, like so if my attention is focused around problems, then you will find problems to solve. That's the reality of it. So if my focus is consistently on my own internal lack in a particular area, I will find evidence to fulfill that particular belief, because that's just the nature of belief and how it works. And third comes down to the identity and beliefs. And so I touched on a little bit on the beliefs, but it's the identity of embodying that particular version of you that already exists in all the infinite. And this comes from a lot of the concepts that I've been learning from reality creation by Frederick Dodson, Parallel Universes of Self, and there's other phenomenal books like that. I highly recommend you checking those out. But essentially, there is infinite versions of you in existence already, and what you're doing is you're aligning yourself with that particular version of you that's already accomplished the thing that you're looking to do, and you're just tapping into that particular state. You're tapping into its energy, you're tapping into its focus and intent, and its identity, and you become that very thing, and you go from there. So that's the 3 fundamental things. Now, how do we actually put this into practice? This is all great in theory, but how do you actually put it into practice? So what I have here is an audit. So what I do is we interrupt the pattern of our day-to-day lives. So what I loved that Joe Dispenza talks about is that 90% of our thoughts are the same as yesterday. That blew my mind. I'm like, what? But I can see how true that can actually be. Because if we're just living the same lives, we're going to the same job, we're going to the same school, we're talking to the same people, the same everything, watching the same shows, yeah, I can see why my thoughts would be the same thing. And here I am trying to create a new reality with the same thoughts and same old past baggage. It's like trying to build a new house with the old house's blueprint. It doesn't really work. So what I do is I do an audit. You interrupt your pattern where you check in with yourself. Hey, what's my energy levels right now? Are they aligned to who I'm looking to be? Can I shift my energy levels to something that serves me better? I have a rule with myself in my particular office is that I don't step into this office unless I'm actually in a positive and empowered state. And if I do catch myself in a negative state and I'm having a difficult time reverting that, or I'm trying to suppress it and move it over, I actually leave the room. And I deal with it there, and then I come back when I'm in a positive state. And so what happens, I've been conditioning myself to actually come into this state and operate from a place where I'm leading with my heart, and I'm able to be fully expressive in what I do, which is just absolutely so cool. Step 2 is tapping into that, what I call the new self. So that the version of you that actually has the particular thing. And really, I mean, I've already touched base on this enough, I find, to get the point across. But the thing that really taps into here is the wanting versus being. So it's noticing that, oh, well, I want to become that individual rather than being that particular individual. Those are 2 very different things, and that took me a very long time to understand. But what the difference is that when you are wanting something, like we talked about the energy levels in the universe, you are signaling to the universe lack, that you are lacking something. Therefore, as you continue your focus and your intention on that lack, it will bring you more scenarios to show you your lack. So paying attention to, instead of wanting to be that person that's achieved the things that you're looking to achieve, being the person that you're looking to achieve. And then lastly is paying attention to counter intentions. So if my intention is to live in this new way of being, you'll have counter intentions. I mean, anytime you try something that's in the unknown and basically in the unknown, you will most likely encounter some sort of resistance internally. Whether it could be some doubt, it could just be a little step back, it could be whatever that is. You'll encounter resistance as you do that. that to me is now transformed into, oh hey, I'm actually making progress. And for me, progress equals happiness. So I know I actually following that which I feel the most resistance to, I'm actually following that now and engaging with it in a much different identity, because this identity, this new one that I've embodied, actually takes on these challenges, and it takes on with such curiosity and compassion and confidence like I've never had before. And I've noticed a fundamental difference between who I am now versus who I was just a couple of weeks and months ago in terms of the difference. So that sums up this video. I basically said is that to summarize this whole thing, it's not really the amount of work that you're doing, the hustle and the grinding and the structures that you have in place, or the money, or the meditations, affirmations, and all that stuff that's really might be holding you back. It's the identity that you identified with. It might be an identity of a struggling artist. This was my big one here too, is that I had to create scenarios which would create immeasurable odds against me, and then I'd have to work my way up in like a hero's journey to surpass all things. And like, look at what I've done. Makes for a great story, but man, the price you pay for that. And instead, it would have been just so much easier to just tap into and do the very thing in the beginning. You can bypass all that crap. So figuring out that, and then we talked about the three fundamentals, the fundamental principles, which is the relationship to energy and emotion, your relationship to focus and intention, and your identity and your beliefs. And we worked through some techniques of auditing your energy or your patterns throughout the day to see where you're at, and tapping and realigning yourself to your new self, and then focusing on being that rather than wanting to be that. And then counter intentions, focus on the counter beliefs, and understanding that this is a normal part of a process in which you're trying something new, and it's actually can signal to you that you're actually making progress and you're actually on the right foot. So just keep going. All right, with that concludes this video, and have fun out there.